Good morning. So nice. I've decided to stay in my closet. Oh. Yeah, it's a more controlled environment. Well, as long as I'm controlling Brian, which I sort of do, although we know we can't control other humans. So, how are we? You want to take a deep breath? I want to start with a deep breath. I think we all could use a little medicine in this morning, and our medicine this morning will be our breath. So, exhale. Put a little smile at the ends of your mouth. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Big deep breath in. Drop your shoulders. You could do a couple of neck rolls around. Stretch out the sides. Do you have any physical pain right now? I do. Because I'm physical. I'm human. I'm in a physical body. I'm in so much gratitude. I'm in so much gratitude because one of them, because of the wonderful things the universe does. And I was in really excruciating pain a year ago for about 2.5 months. And at this point, I had been in it for about a month. And I'd tried all the regular fixes, pain meds, anti-inflammatories, lots of things, heat, ice, stretching, massage. It was down in my sacroiliac joint, and it was around this time where I was getting a little hopeless, feeling like I don't think I could live with this pain I couldn't live in this level of pain, like this. I couldn't live, and I was starting to feel hopeless, and I was, like I am known to do, putting it out there in social media, how hard it was. And I had a friend, who reached out to me through those virtual ethers. And it was a voice that rang out so clear because she suggested something that no one else had, and that was to connect with my breath. I'd forgotten about my breath. I'd forgotten about where the breath can take you, and what it can take you out of. And one of those things is pain, because I don't know if you know this or not, but a great proportion of our pain is emotional. Whatever we're feeling, even if it's a physical, like we just had surgery, pain is a mixture of a lot of components, and one of them is emotional. And that pain that I was having, because I can look back now and see that a great proportion of that pain was emotional. I had done some work with a very unhappy couple, and because I'm an empathic, sensitive person, I had taken on their emotions, and it had actually, I know this seems so weird, and I'm a Western physician, and I never, 20 years ago would have just kind of scoffed at this. It's real. I actually believe that I took on part of their pain, maybe to help relieve them. It came into me and settled in my sacroiliac joint. And a lot of you who suffer from sciatica may actually be suffering from sacroiliitis, which is different from joint pain because it doesn't respond to pain meds or anti-inflammatories, nor does it respond to massage because it's nerve pain, which is a whole different area of pain. and a lot of what goes on in our backs and in our joints in our backs are nerve pain, like sciatica, and what that responds to is things like acupuncture and Reiki, which is energy healing, and breath work. I found out because that friend reached out to me, called me, and we sat together for about 20 minutes, and she took me through a breath visualization practice where we went through each. They're called chakras. You may know or heard of them. They are ancient. Both Chinese and India base their medicine and their healing techniques on these energy channels. Acupuncture is based on energy. And if you have some kind of blockage or an obstacle that's blocking your energy channels, then you are not functioning correctly. And I think those were our ancient that was our nervous system that they were actually basing these on. Not really, they just knew. They're just so smart, their technology is ancient, Vedic, Chinese, and way before Western medicine was invented. So, but we, in the West have a certain arrogance about our brand of medicine. And that arrogance is all based on science, whereas, Chinese and Vedic were based on not solely science. They just knew stuff. And so we open those energy channels, and once we open those channels, then our energy flows more freely and things don't get stuck, like emotional pains. And so if you can dislodge those, you can be healed. A lot of autoimmune disorders are related to, we don't even know what causes them. A lot of pains and disorders. But if we would just open ourselves up to flow and intuition and the energy of the universe, we could accept all forms of medicine. And so I did that breath work, and I started doing it every day, twice a day. It would take me about 4 minutes in the morning, 4 minutes at night, where I would breathe into each of my chakras. The root chakra's at the bottom. It's red. I would visualize red and opening. Then my second breath, I would go into my orange chakra, then my yellow chakra, my heart chakra, which is green, throat chakra, which is blue, then up to your third eye chakra, which is violet or indigo, and then your crown, which is white, clear, bright white light. And you could just envision this channel up and down your spine being open and activated. And that really helped. I mean, within 3 or 4 days, I started to feel so much better. That and acupuncture. And because I have access to really high-tech diagnostic equipment at our imaging centers, I did this SPECT CT scan where I was injected with radiation, and then wherever that radiation lodges in your body shows where your inflammation was. And my sacroiliac joint lit up like a red Christmas tree light. It was bright red, which means severe inflammation. So that corresponded to the pain, and it also corresponded to where my emotional issues from taking on someone else's issues had lodged. So that finally resolved after 2.5 months. I got my hope back with the breath. The breath gave me hope because I was losing hope. And sometimes what we need to give other people and ourselves is hope. There are doctors. I was around them for years in training at UCLA and the university level, at the VA, the Veterans Administration, in clinics. And when somebody would have a terminal end-stage, say, pancreatic cancer, and I remember specific patients. This was an LA bus driver, And his girlfriend slash wife prayed every day with him. She never left his side, and she never gave up hope. And her hope touched me so deeply. I had forgotten that how important hope was at that point until I sat with her day after day after day. And I saw how it's a lifeboat, you know. It's a lifeboat. So always offer hope always offer hope to people. And in the work that I do now, I work with addiction and alcoholism, and I work with patients who've tried rehab multiple times, sometimes 7 times, and I get messages from my patients now who don't drink anymore, or who are finally free and clear of their addiction from whatever it was, opiates, alcohol, sex, gambling, and they're free and clear of that, and they don't even crave it. So, and the one thing that we were able to offer was hope. That, hey, this is one thing. I'm an advocate for this plant-based medicine known as Ibogaine. You can research it. I would appreciate not getting asked a lot of DMs about it. It is currently illegal in the United States, but it's not in Canada or Mexico, Costa Rica, all these countries, South Africa. They offer Ibogaine clinics for alcoholics and addicts, Ibogaine, and it is being studied. My son he did a research project at Yale, and it was published that Ibogaine does help, does work. I think the results of a rehab center are they have successes around 6 or 7% of people that go to rehab, and Ibogaine is around 60 to 80%. So there's hope. And it costs about 1/10 of what the rehab centers charge. So, and you only do it once. So it works. And so my motto was try before you die. As a physician, I was always looking for something else besides rehab, because a lot of my patients paid all this money and then it failed over and over and over, and a lot of them couldn't afford it. So this Ibogaine is something that you should at least research, okay? So if you're interested or have a loved one that desperately needs one more avenue of hope. And so there's that. I wanted to talk about a couple of things today. Yesterday I decided that I'm going to say it once. I wasn't going to use the word hate anymore, or hater, okay? Because I feel like when you say some word, you're giving energy and power to it, and giving energy and power to the H'ers, and to the H. I'm going to say the H word now. And words we're not allowed to say. We're not allowed to say, I'm not allowing myself. And if I do ever accidentally slip, this is a new discipline that I'm imposing upon myself. I'm not going to say the H word or give it power, okay? I invite you all to dig into that. And some people ask me, why do you wear hats? I'm not wearing one now because I got my bangs, and I wear hats all the time, most all the time, because I don't like the lights. I like to be in control of what's coming into my eyes. And if you wear a hat, you can control the light situation. You can control it in an office building, in a workspace, in people's homes, in restaurants. And so that's why. That's a good thing. Outside too. So, and I like hats. There's a couple other things. I actually wrote them down. I guess I got this notebook in a workshop the other day. And now I'm writing stuff down that come up. Either, a lot of times, a lot of good ideas and thoughts come up when you're waking up. That's a good time you're really activated in the morning. Your energy's high. You've slept, hopefully. And you can write stuff down that just arises in those states, those coming up from a deep sleep to wakefulness state. That's a transition, much like menopause. It takes, 5 to 7 minutes maybe of transitioning. And really, which is wake and which is sleep? Do we really know? We think we know. Maybe this is sleep. Maybe I'm sleeping now. Maybe my dreams are where I'm truly awake. So many things can come in our dreams. I have lots of feelings and thoughts and visions and experiences in my dreams. And I've had some prophecy dreams. I'm going to talk about those right now because they have made me who I am, sitting in this chair now and relaying some stuff to you. So write your dreams down if you can remember to. I was going to just touch on the concept of doing things wrong. Have you ever done something wrong that was against the rules? You broke a law. You did something. Maybe you did it out of desperation because you needed to do it. You had to. Your car was broken. You had to do something, or you needed to feed your children. Or maybe you took just something simple, like you took alcohol into a concert. You sneaked it in. You weren't supposed to because you didn't want to pay $20 for a drink. Or you rented a rental car and you weren't supposed to drive on that four-wheel road, but you did it anyway. Or you rented an RV and says you can't take this to Burning Man, and you did. And of course they knew because you got back and everything was dusty. And maybe you felt bad about those things, but those are little things. Actually, renting an RV and take it to Burning Man and getting it all dusty is not that little because that's somebody's property and they didn't want you to do that. But taking alcohol into a concert, see how we rationalize taking, because you don't want to spend $20 for a drink and they're going to make tons of money off of you, and they've already made tons of money because you bought the ticket. So, you gotta, it's like, all these little things, right and wrong, rules and laws. Sometimes you may be breaking a law, like you're at a four-way stop at 4 a.m. and there's no one coming and the light's not changing green and you're just sitting there. You didn't trip the thing that makes it turn green. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit there for how many lights are you going to sit there before you run the red light? So making those decisions, make them based on, are you going to hurt anybody? Is anyone going to get hurt by this? If you're like, and if it's a big corporation, it's easier not to follow the rules because you feel like no one's getting hurt. And I don't know, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. A big insurance company, a big pharmaceutical company that's making shitloads and tons and boatloads of money for their shareholders, and the CEOs are getting paid millions and millions. So, you got to go with your gut. So I was told on Friday at that workplace shop that the woman running it is she has intuition, and she told me that she feels I'm being called to a higher purpose, a higher calling. I know you don't know this. I'm also a reverend. I'm an ordained minister. So it's the Reverend Dr. Deb. Yes, I do weddings. I counsel. And so in case you didn't know that, how would you have known? These robes back here are my ministry robes. They're very pretty, colorful, wonderful, handmade items made by my friends and artist friends. So maybe I am being called to something higher. I think I am. And I want to take you with me, and I love you. The light in me honors the light in you. I'm going to keep it under 20 seconds. Namaste. And namaste. Do work.